Hello gamers and welcome back to Nay Completes Sonic Adventure on the Armbar arcade. So we're here in the Mystic Ruins. If you missed the past couple of episodes, we've been trying to follow Dr. Robotnik's plan to take over Station Square and build Robotnik Land. And we've fought Chaos a couple of times on the way. He's a big watery monster man who we don't like. We've met up with Knuckles, Tails, Amy and most of the other gang from the Sonic universe, I suppose. But we won't be focusing on them. We're focusing on completing Sonic's story. So right now we are heading for the temple. Or at least we're trying to. Aha! Here we are. It's a big temple. And on one of the sides there's an entrance. Typically it's the last side we try. Here we go, so we're going to go in here. And this is Action Stage 9, Lost World. Potentially my second favourite action stage in the entire game. My favourite being the last action stage. So you're in for a real belter of an episode here with my second favourite and favourite action stages in one episode. So yeah, we're going to run Sonic's story through to completion today. Exciting times. It's a short story really. I mean, for a video game, Sonic Adventure is fleshed out by the other characters' stories, which are essentially the same and then all fit together to build towards Super Sonic's story, which is just a little extra on the end of the game. But this is probably the most satisfying 3D Sonic gameplay we've ever seen. And you know, some of the action stages are really nicely designed. It all looks good, it plays well. And I've just played through it so many times that I could play it in my sleep. So, you know, it's got that going for it. This is one of my favourite sections. It's a little puzzle section. So we jump here to raise the water level. And then if we jump up here... Oh, we can't jump up there yet. But soon, when we raise the water level. You might notice I'm sounding a little bit ill. That's because I am. Had to delay recording this episode a little bit because of illness, but I thought I would give it a go as soon as I was even partially back to health. So here we are, attempting the last few stages with a little bit of a handicap in that I have a slight cold. It has been worse throughout this week, so mercifully it's a little bit better. There we go, there's one of our lights, the blue light. So I think it's about time to raise that water level once again. There we go. And we might take a little trip round on our buddy the snake, who we can see moving along nicely in the water. He's going in circles. He's our main method of transport once the water level gets too high. You can glitch out on the snake, so it's lucky that we didn't accidentally do that, because you can go straight through him and die. We've had quite a good run through this game. I recorded the first 3 episodes in one big bulk, so that was one play session. So we've had 2 play sessions to complete the entire Sonic story of the game, coming in about 2 or 3 hours I think, the entire playtime, so that's not too bad. It's a game you can play when you got a couple of hours free and you just want to relive the nostalgia of the best Dreamcast game of 1999, I guess. But there's a lot of contenders for that title. You know, Crazy Taxi was great. I really enjoyed Virtua Tennis. Shenmue came out in 1999, so the Dreamcast was a wonderful console. Underrated, but also under-supported, so I can see why it wasn't hit in the end. You know, Sega had done too much damage to their reputation in their customers' eyes by the time it came out, so ultimately not surprising that it was such a short-lived console, but I wish it had a little bit more going for it, because it was such a good overall product. You know, Sega hit it right for once. So we're going to move on to this section with mirrors. This is another really clever little section. You point the mirrors at the mirrors and it lights the way for Sonic to run through the darkness. There are fire arrows which can catch us out, so we've got to be careful. We could also fall through absolutely nothing. No, I think there was a platform there which we just missed, but you know, it always feels a little bit unfair when you get done like that. Whoop, nearly fell off again. This is what we got the 24 lives for. We're on to 23 lives now, obviously. But it's good to keep a little stock of lives because these last two stages are the hardest stages in the game. They're not hard, but there's little moments where you can just have a tricky enemy or a tricky little gap and it'll take a couple of lives just to get through. But we're doing pretty well. We need to avoid this fireman. He is not good news. I always worry about not landing on these sort of platforms because they're so... I don't know, Sonic's a little bit floaty sometimes, so you wonder if he'll just come down slightly past the platform or slightly before the platform or any combination of those things. There we go, there's a little flash forward to Sonic 06 and how you begin the story mode in that. A game that I'm not ever going to play as a complete series. Unless we get like 1 million subscribers, maybe I'd do it then. That's the incentive. There's the 1 million subscriber Sonic 06 special. Only 20 to 30 years off, if ever. Like little Indiana Jones moment. There's another one in Sonic Adventure 2 where Sonic's being chased by a truck. So they like their little movie references. Apparently the stage has taken 5 minutes 28 already, which is by far the longest action stage we've encountered. So you can see the stages really do start to get serious when you get to stage 9. And so they should, because we're like 90% through the game. So yeah, if you light up these tiles by pressing the button a couple of thousand times, aha, we can now walk on them. For some reason, gravity does not affect us. So we're going to go over here and press these tiles. It's kind of like a puzzle, but a puzzle that you can only get wrong if you were really trying hard to get it wrong. How do we get up there? This is the moment where I forget how the game actually works. Aha! Up here. They wanted me to do that and I fell for it. Fell hard for that. Alright, slow down, Sonic. Speed is not your greatest ally here. Up. 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 We've pressed the thing. No. Yes. There we go. Yeah, the end of this stage is kind of reminiscent of some Sonic 06 things in that he just runs into nothing really, and it's like, oh, he's done it. Yeah, he's at the centre of the ruins. Why has this happened? What did he want there? Why has he gone to the centre of the ruins? It's a small plot hole, but it's sort of one of those ones where it makes the whole storyline a little bit like, oh, we're playing a game, so go to the centre of the ruins and there might be something there. Kind of like the hints, you know, whoa, go to the Mystic Ruins. This? You might find something. You might.
A mural.
A mural. It's Chaos, I think. Big Chaos. Chaos 7, or Ultimate Chaos. With all the emeralds. Yeah, this is the game kind of trying to have a storyline, but obviously you're most of the way through Sonic's story. And it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, this thing happened in the past, and I don't know. It's an odd. There's a little bit of Tikal in Casinopolis. If you remember, we went through.
This is really weird.
A bit with Chow, and there was dancing and pinball. But yeah, this is the story portion of Sonic Adventure. It doesn't last long. It doesn't make too much sense. It's just a kind of Chaos ruined the Earth once, he's going to do it again if you don't stop him. But we already knew that, because he's going to ruin Station Square and build Robotnik Land. Well, I assume Chaos won't build Robotnik Land, because that would be weird. He would build Chaos Land.
Why?
So that's Tikal. I think she's an Echidna as well, like Knuckles.
Why did this have to
But she
happen?
just takes care of all the Chow. Which is fine. That's a good job, you know. Someone's got to do it.
I must stop this now.
The screen is very red in these cutscenes. I think they underestimated quite how red they'd made it. It just kind of looks like there's a big danger alert going off or something, like a fire alarm. Anyway, I think that's it. There might be more. Nope, that was it. So, yeah, I don't know how gamers are supposed to understand
I think
that.
I'm dreaming here.
That means Chaos destroyed the world once, and he's gonna do it again. And Tikal looks after the Chow, so you should probably look after the Chow. And the weird thing is, Tikal is actually also in the hint orb. That is supposedly her spirit from the ancient times.
This time I'll get him good.
So she's like, go to the Mystic Ruins, you might find something, because she knows, but how does she know? I don't know. Sonic Team don't often make sense, and sometimes they don't have to, so we don't really question it. But here is the bridge to Final Egg. It's like, you know, when you get a 6-pack of eggs and you've eaten 5 of them, that last one, that's the final egg. Anyway, so we've got to solve this little puzzle and light up all the lights. Eggman's puzzles are never particularly challenging, he says before he completes it. What an amateur mistake. We're going to spend hours on this now, aren't we? The music's banging though. Haha, there we go. If you accidentally step on it, it will close, so don't do that. Final egg. This is the stage. This is the stage. My favourite. And it's kind of why I always like playing through Sonic's story, because you know that you've got something to look forward to, you know? If your favourite stage is right at the end, it's kind of like, well, there's Final Egg to come, so I'll carry on playing, even if, you know, Casinopolis, it is just pinball, basically. But this stage has it all. It's got good music, it's got good level design, it's got lasers which can hurt you, it's got robots, it's got a big thing that looks like the tubes they use to flavour crisps. I'll point that out when it comes. So we'll just jump in here and grab another extra life for our 26th extra life and some rings, and then we're going to ollie back out. We're not going to worry about those guys because we don't need to. Here's some conveyor belts. Aha, here's the tumble. It's kind of like a tumble dryer, I guess, but if you've ever seen crisps being flavoured, they put all the flavourings in and then they shake the potato chips around with the flavours in one of these big drums. So I've always thought, oh look, it's like the things they use to flavour crisps, which I suppose unless you've seen crisps being flavoured, you wouldn't think. You might not think it anyway, even if you have seen crisps being flavoured. Anyway, that's the first little stage of it. Now this is more of a platforming challenge, so we've got to land on these platforms and descend. It's quite easy to make mistakes, so I'm going to take it fairly slowly. Oh no, wait, do we have to ascend or just go across? I can't remember, but there we go. So we use the little power-ups and that to guide ourselves, because Sonic will lock onto those, whereas just jumping for it is incredibly difficult to be accurate. Get down here, and this is the one where we ascend. So they're all on a sort of sequence where you can jump between them, but then sometimes you can't. So you have to be kind of careful not to jump off the edge and fall. It's quite a long way down as well, so don't fall down there. Grab another life for 27. We could have had about 35, I reckon, if we'd have been really going for it, but we'll take around 30 by the end of this. So there's another little challenge, but they put hammers in the way as well, which obviously adds a little bit to the difficulty. And I think if they touch you, they might rid you of all your rings, or they just knock you off the platform like that. He's still alive! He's still alive! But we're not allowed to keep him. And we nearly lost him again there. Yeah, the level of challenge really does ramp up a little bit for this stage. Eggman seems to not want you to foil his plans. You know, who would have guessed that he actually wanted to build Robotnik Land and it wasn't just a ruse for a video game. There's a lot of tunnels in his secret hideout. I wonder if he ever uses these, like if he just wanders through and has to, you know, jump on all these platforms, or if it's just us that has to do this. I thought I'd lost the life there. The camera was sure I had. The camera was like, no, you haven't made that jump, but I had. How unfair. Right, there is a timing to this. I think it's there. That's right. I could have jumped that, but I'm going to wait because there's a big hammer. There we go. Down we go. In a lift. I wonder if the rest of the stage loads in that bit or whether it's already loaded, because it kind of moves the camera but it doesn't actually load with a loading screen. Little technical question, I suppose. You can jump all the way down here and be alright, but it's not the best of ideas. I prefer to play it safely. There you go, it's a little crabby device. Which is odd, because Eggman's all about eggs, but this is like a little crab elevator. It's one of the most fun little devices in Final Egg. It's like, oh, it's descending like a crab might. Little change up in... No, not a little change up in the music. Not yet. It's quite a long stage, this one. But that's part of what makes it good, because if it wasn't a long stage, you know, it's the final stage. Eggman's sort of trying to stop you getting to his lair and foiling his plans, basically. So he's got to put up a bit of a fight, otherwise it wouldn't be a particularly good final stage. Oh, here's another... Well, I couldn't see what I was doing, so... here's another little bit where you get guided by the wind, kind of like in Action Stage 2. If you push forward, it just guides you straight through these, and obviously you have to go left and right in this bit. The only problem with that is it is very fussy, as you saw. If you don't press the correct things, or if you stop pressing at any point, Sonic literally just jumps off the platform like, nope, I'm not going to do that for you. So you have to be careful. They can save you, I guess, if you go a little bit wrong, the wind fans. But it's best just to try and guide yourself through them. Pyong. There's a lot of checkpoints in this one, because it's such a long stage. Now this one you have to land on here. You can do it first time, but then you can get the running boots. Now these little guys, if you jump on them, they will explode, or if you get too near them, they will explode. Or if you do anything, they will explode. But you needn't worry, because you can just run away from them. And that's basically what I've done all through this stage when I've encountered the little pink beings. This is a bit of the stage which is featured in E101's story. He uses it as a shooting range. Those little puppets of Sonic and Tails and Knuckles come up and he uses them to practice.
Hey, let go!
You can be abducted by those little spaceships. Please don't abduct me. I'm trying to do the final stage. You also can't destroy them, I don't think. There we go.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the adventure stage part of Final Egg. The action stage part of it. Get to the center of the base, where we find Dr. Robotnik. Some good music in this bit. Crush 40 and Jun Senu really did a good job with the guitars in this soundtrack. Yeah, this is the Egg Viper, I believe.
Well, if it isn't my pal Sonic, I'm surprised you made it this far.
No, you're not. I always make it through your bases.
Right there, Eggman.
So everything's starting to fall apart, which is a staple of Eggman plans. Or Robotnik plans, should I say. I did promise not to say Eggman, so apologies there for breaking my promise. Yeah, this is the Egg Viper fight, so we have 28 tries at this if we need them. We shouldn't. I have played this boss fight quite a lot of times.
Get a load at this.
And it features some of Eggman's best lines. Get a load of
See
this!
if you can make it through here, Sonic.
I can. I could have actually hit him when he came close to the platform, but I forgot about that, so I had to do the little jumpy thing with the lights. But yeah, it's a pretty easy boss battle once you learn all the permutations of his attack. See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
I can. If you don't make it in time, he does a big energy beam and takes some of your rings, so don't let him do that.
Get a load at this.
Yep, the big explodey beam.
See if you can make it through here.
I keep thinking about trying to attack him early, but it's just not worth it, because if we fall off, then we have to start the entire boss battle again, so probably not. I think the first time was definitely the time to do it if we were going to attack him before we were supposed to. Aha, here we go.
It's no use. Give up.
Give up. But don't give up.
See if you can make it through here, Sonic.
So yeah, this is one of my favourite boss battles because it's not difficult if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, it can be quite a sort of... There's a lot of things to remember and a lot of things change throughout the boss battle, like this.
No way! I can't believe it!
And that's quite an inventive way of hitting Robotnik, just jumping on his spinning discs. He also destroys the other side of the platform, so you're not allowed to use that anymore. You can only... And he destroys one platform per time, so... One more hit and we will have completed Sonic Adventure, Sonic's story.
Ah, he's not gonna get away with
That sounded like a subtitle. Sonic Adventure, Sonic's story.
No way! I can't believe this!
Now something you do have to remember about the end of Sonic Adventure is Eggman has something up his sleeve.
Watch out.
So it looks like he's beaten, but Tikal advises you that he's up to something. So if you run, he destroys the platform that you're standing on. So you just have to run to the next platform. But we did actually nearly get taken out there right at the end of the boss battle. Glad to have completed that in one go, because it just looks good when I post this. There he goes into the sunset. Sonic's eyes are crazy as usual. Here comes Tails. He can fly. It would be strange if foxes could fly like that, you know. I think might be a bit creepy. Sonic, I assume, is supposed to be talking there, but he could just be having some sort of seizure, I guess. So that apparently was a cutscene. I guess Sonic and Tails were reunited after all. Here come the credits. So yeah, the rest of Sonic Adventure really is the other characters' stories, so you see things from their point of view. You see some other details, I guess. And then Super Sonic's storyline is unlocked. Robotnik ends up getting all the Chaos Emeralds anyway, so you might as well have just given them to him from the beginning. And then you end up facing Ultimate Chaos, who's eaten all 7 Chaos Emeralds. And Station Square has been partially destroyed and flooded, just like in the cutscene at the very beginning of the game. And yeah, you go through destroyed Station Square, you defeat Chaos, you save the day. What more could you want? I definitely think this is the best 3D Sonic the Hedgehog game. Sonic Adventure 2 comes close. Personally, I don't think it's quite as good, but that's a debate for the comments. Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2? Or a different 3D Sonic game? I mean, I know the 2D Sonic games are well loved, but what's your favourite 3D Sonic game? That's the comments question. And the last one of this series. It's been fun playing through this game. It's been nostalgic. Yeah, we've done pretty well actually. I think we probably died a handful of times, maybe 5 in the whole playthrough. Took 2 to 3 hours. You know, it's a short game, an enjoyable game, and something from my childhood that I can always come back to. There's some nice vignettes of all the stages that we went through. And there's one of these credit scenes for every single character in the game. So once you do Amy's story, you get Amy's credits, which are the same credits, it's just different vignettes. Knuckles credits, Tails credits, Gamma's credits, Big the Cat's credits for going fishing like 4 times. I mean, his story can be completed in about 20 minutes if you're good at the fishing. It takes me about 2 hours usually because I'm not good at the fishing. I'm very bad at the fishing and it's just not an easy thing to master, so yeah, otherwise I guess I might have played through all the game if it just wasn't so repetitive and not difficult but just annoying to complete in terms of Big the Cat. And E101 Gamma is okay, his story's fine. So that's the end of the credits and the end of this series. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me play Sonic Adventure. If you missed any episodes, go back and check them out. And yeah, until next time, happy gaming.